Hey everyone, welcome now to the podcast. And first of all, I'd like to say a huge thank you to the sponsors of this episode, NordVPN, the greatest VPN in the history of the entire planet. So with NordVPN, you can protect your private data like bank details, passwords, and online identity wherever you go in the world. You can switch your virtual location, and it gives you threat protection against viruses, malicious malware, and phishing sites. It's the fastest VPN in the world, and one account can be used up to 10 devices. To get the best discount off your NordVPN plan, go to nordvpn.com/roughcut, and there will also be a link in the description. This will give you 4 extra months free on a 2-year plan. And there's no risk with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. The link is also in the comments if you are watching this on YouTube. So a huge thank you to NordVPN for sponsoring the episode. Let's cue the music.
Sometimes golf is a pain in the butt. You hit your ball in the trees and then you lip out the putt. But if you've got a little time, then come and spend it with us, 'cause now you're listening to The Rough Cut.
Well, hello, and welcome down to another episode of the Rough Cut Golf Podcast, where you join us in a lovely hotel in the charming town of Myrtle Beach in South Carolina, where we have just been over filming and playing in The Q. The Q, which we played in last year. It is a qualifier to get through to a PGA Tour event with other creators and wonderful golfers. However, that's as much as we can tell you about that particular event, as we've signed a strict NDA. Those videos are going to be coming out in May.
Early May, yeah.
Early May. So make sure that you stay tuned. It's going to be well worth the watch. I'm here with Jacob, and I'm here with Sam.
Hello.
How are we? You okay?
Hello. Yeah, I'm good.
You all right?
I'll be honest,
Yeah,
I'm tired.
Flagging.
I am tired. It's been, yeah. No sympathy from that side of the room.
Hey, listen,
I sympathise with you, Jake.
I mean, I do sympathise with you a bit, but I'm right with you. I've been walking literally every step.
You have, yeah.
In
Which
fact,
is very unlike it in America.
I have walked more steps.
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
I'm impressed with the amount that my feet have been able to cope with this week. Shout out FootJoy. It's been pretty intense. So we are basically, obviously, in the States. We have been over for almost a couple of weeks now. We started over in Pinehurst, playing some incredible courses, which we'll get onto, and then travelled over to Myrtle Beach. Now, we're going to discuss it a little bit through that, some stuff that's going on with this channel, some crazy stuff that's been happening within the world of golf as well. So how about we just jump straight into the podcast? How about we just do that?
Let's just get into it.
Just start talking about golf and stuff.
Jump straight in.
Yeah, I mean, we probably should talk about golf. That is kind of what we do here, though we do stray away from doing that quite a lot of the time. But one of the biggest things is that they're saying that the Open might return to Trump Turnberry, which is one of the things that we have spoken about on the podcast.
Yeah, we've spoken about it before. I think the difference this time around is obviously Trump is back as president of the United States of America now. And they were in Downing Street a few weeks ago. And the awarding of the Open Championship has been away from Turnberry since the outgoing chief exec of the Open basically didn't want any kind of distraction away from the Open Championship. And as far as I'm aware, that positioning hasn't actually changed. But I think now that Trump is back as president, he wants the Open back at Turnberry. But just by wanting it back at Turnberry and trying to exert a bit of influence, that automatically makes it a little bit of a distraction away from the tournament. So if that's going to happen, I really don't know.
You would almost assume as well that like his return to office actually makes it harder in a sense, because you'd think that when this is just, maybe just a devil's advocate take on the side of it, but it just seems that because he's now more in mainstream media again and we're seeing more of him and we hear his name a lot more, that if he's trying to push for something, he's obviously in a position where he can, maybe pull some strings a little bit more and make sure that he can get in the course there. But actually now he's there more about in the media. Maybe they don't want that noise again, because that's what it's going to be. It's going to be harder to kind of like distract away from it.
You'd think he'd have some more important things to be getting on with.
Nothing's more important than golf, Sam.
No,
You know this.
apparently.
My president knows this. It's all about the golf. I think.
Yeah.
I mean,
Number one priority.
the problem is, like, as soon as the leader of a country tries to exert some influence on where a golf tournament gets, it's obviously going to get politicized. There's no way around that. And I think, generally speaking, one of the very best things about sport is that you can go there and you don't have to worry about politics. You can just enjoy it for what it is. And I think that's something that we should really try and
return to in golf, because he's definitely been embroiled in a lot of politics recently.
But not just golf, like literally any sport. Like any sport, you want to go there, you want to cheer, you want to get excited, you want to watch these fantastic players at the very peak of their abilities just doing what they do and what you love to watch. You don't want to get involved with the backroom stuff. So I don't really see how him being president changes anything, really.
I mean, we say that now, but realistically, these conversations are being led, and I suppose the question to you is that maybe however long down the future, but do you feel that the Open will return to Turnberry one day?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it will do, but also it doesn't have to. But Turnberry is an incredible golf course. Like, Turnberry is one of the best Open venues. Turnberry is one of the best golf courses literally in the world. Like, when I've played it a couple of times since the kind of regeneration that happened a few years ago, it is just absolutely fantastic. It's stunning. It's in a brilliant position overlooking the coast. Some amazing holes. And if you catch it on a nice day, it's one of the most beautiful places in the world as well. And it's got such a rich history that it would be a shame if the Open didn't return there. I think it will at some point. When that might be, who knows? But it has to.
Yeah. I mean, the course itself, as you've said before, like when you've played it, like it stands up there as one of the best. You're including it as an open course, like as a golf course. Disregard the name that's upon it. As a golf course itself, it stands alone as one of the best in the country.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I'm just trying to think off the top of my head. Like, there are a few Open venues that stand alongside it. Port Roche, absolutely love. Birkdale, we kind of need to go back and have a look at because they've redone a lot of the course. But as far as an Open venue goes, yeah, it's literally right up there. But it's not there for obvious reasons. So I don't think it's going to change. And the only people that were going to miss out really are us watching it.
Sure, yeah. I mean, you talk about Royal Portrush. It's probably a nice little interlude into the next kind of golfing talking point we've got. Obviously, we're heading back there this year for the Open. Have you seen that they've announced they're going to do a couple of name changes this year? Have you seen that? I've gone a couple of the holes.
Oh, Port Roche?
Yeah.
I know they're going to change a couple of the holes to honour, is it Darren Clark? Graham McDowell? Yes. Me and my golf news. Thank you. Yeah. I mean, yeah, great. I mean, obviously, local guys got a lot of connections with the course. The only thing I always think about whenever I go to Port Rush, whenever I think about Port Rush, is the Darren Clark aftershave.
Yeah.
So,
I remember you telling me about this when I first joined, I think.
It's part of the introduction. I think I might have mentioned it in Sam's interview as well. I think it's all part of the process. Did I ever told you about Darren Clark's aftershave?
It doesn't ring a bell.
So, first time, I've only played Port Rush once, actually. So, I went there and walked past a pro shop, and Darren Clark's face is basically a massive display in the pro shop window. And he's doing like that pose where he's got his chin resting on his hand, like looking all sultry. And it's like Darren Clark, the scent. I don't know if it was called that, but I really hope it is. But it's his aftershave.
It's ambiguous.
Yeah, the scent.
Yeah.
So you like go in there and you're like, all right. So I walked into the pro shop. I was like, this can't be real. Like, Darren Clark cannot have his own fragrance. Surely not. And there it was, proudly on display.
Oh, did Darren.
What does Darren Clark smell like?
I immediately think woody. I think smoky.
Definitely smoky.
Earthy.
A bit yeasty from the Guinness.
Yeah.
Yeast is the worst thing you can smell like.
It's a bit yeasty.
I don't know. Like, if you get the yeast musk just right, it can really work. can really balance out a fragrance, I think.
Yeah.
An undertone of earthy yeastiness.
All combined with the sweat of a 18-hole.
Oh, yeah.
Grind.
Yeah, 36-hole comp in July.
Yeah. I don't think that's kind of...
It's not having them queuing at the door. Let's put it that way.
I don't know how well this is sold. I also don't think it smells anything like that.
I don't think we're doing much better
We're not
for
gonna
it.
have
If anybody has access to the Darren Clark fragrance, please send us some. I love aftershaves, and I would love to add it to my collection.
Would love to smell like Darren Clark.
I would love to walk into the office one day, and you guys were like, God, you
Smell good.
You smell good. Oh, thank you. It's the,
you remind me of someone.
Yeah, I think it's the yeasty fragrance of Darren Clark.
What are you wearing?
It might be fantastic. So if anyone could send me that, that's great.
Hey, I'm trying to think of if there's any other golfers that I've seen have their own fragrance. I don't think there is.
No,
Surely Tiger's got his own somewhere.
I don't think so.
It feels like he will have done that and everything else.
I mean, a lot of golfers do like start to branch out. So mostly into things like wine.
Yeah, wine's a popular one.
Get in the vineyards. You got Ernie. Got Luke. Even Luke Donald's got his own wine.
Is he?
Got a lovely Barolo.
Do we like a Barolo?
I do like a Barolo. Well,
Okay.
now after South Africa, I'm a wine expert as well.
Of course, yeah. As am I, from the 3 wines I've tasted in my life.
I think we had 6.
Okay, well that tells you how good they were.
You just had really large glasses.
Yeah.
But you did keep asking for different ones that weren't as part of the wine tasting. What was that?
There was one.
There was an extra one.
What did I? When?
I think he bought out one that was like not necessarily on the list of ones we were supposed to have.
Yeah, just because
There was a red. There was like a vintage
you
or
just
something.
recognised you and thought,
I literally do not remember any of this.
this is a guy that I'll appreciate.
I had a great time though.
I know
And
you did.
I bought a few bottles, so keep them happy.
As did I. As did Sam. As did David.
As did everyone.
As did other David.
Who bought the wine that was free in the room?
David.
Was that David?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we got a bottle of free wine when we stayed.
I think it was a Chardonnay. I think.
Was it? No, it was the
was it?
Sauvignon.
The Sauvignon.
The Chardonnay was the
Mrs. English.
Mrs. English, yeah.
Yeah. But the one in the room,
what I bought.
the one in the room, David didn't realise it was in the room in the mini bar and bought it, and then went back to the room and found the same wine he'd just bought for free.
Which is tragic.
Check your minibus, kids.
Check your mini bars. If there's a lesson for you.
And if you know David would be gutted about that as well.
Yeah.
Not to get off from the Open.
Sure.
Did you see someone who's qualified for the Open by winning the New Zealand Open?
I did. This is maybe my favourite golf news of the week, month.
Hit me with it.
Ryan Peake I believe was his name. He, as you said, won the New Zealand Open, which Luke Kwan was playing in.
Yes, he was.
I feel terrible that I don't actually know how well he did.
I'm not sure. Well, we have been pretty busy.
We have been busy. Yeah, we have been busy. So Ryan, he won the Open, and as you say, got a place in the Open for doing so. But he was, incredibly, when he was younger, in an Australian motorbike gang. Mm-hmm. And I'm picturing kind of like the Australian turn on Hells Angels kind of thing.
Yeah, the Sandy Hogs.
And not doing like this. And when I'm talking, yeah.
I don't know. What would be a name for an Australian motorcycle man?
The Dusty Kangaroos.
The Dusty Kangaroos. Anyway,
sounds great.
Carry on. We'll come up with a few more.
Yeah, we'll think about it. But like, this isn't just like like a little gang that they had like when you were 12 and you ran the park and you like these are like a legit
stone cold
set
killers
of guys. Yeah, and he went to jail.
Yeah,
for assault. Yeah, he went to jail whilst in this gang. And then I think the story goes basically that he did play golf growing up, but his old golf coach rang him when he was in jail and basically said, when you get out, get your clubs back out because it will change your life and it will sort your life out. Because you can't be doing this all your life because otherwise you're just going to waste away. And he did. He came out of jail. He got his clubs back out. He started playing again. And then roll forward to when I think he's 31. So maybe 10 years' time, he wins the New Zealand Open and finds himself playing in Royal Portrush, which is...
turned his life around.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
I mean,
It'd be interesting, like stories like this, and in the interview that I read, I didn't see the interview I read with him, it was, because obviously it's an interesting story, but it's such a singular story that he's going to get asked the question so much.
Yeah, you're going to have to talk about that a lot.
Yeah, he's going to have to just talk about his time in prison, how golf turned around. And like in his interview, you could almost see he's like, listen, I'm just here to play golf.
Yeah.
I'm just here to get on with my game, try and be as good as I can.
Well, he best prepare himself for July then, because he's going to have to answer that question a lot then as well.
Yeah.
You'll have a little piece made on him, and I'll go back and interview him at his family home.
Maybe you'll interview him about his time in prison.
Him and the Outback Rangers.
On the range?
I'm not very good at motorcycle gang names.
No.
Are there any others than Hell's Angels? Hell's Riders? Hell's Wheels?
Sons of Anarchy, is that the name of the
That's
gang?
a show.
I know
isn't
it's
it?
a show, but it's about a bike gang. So
It's a TV show, Jacob.
no, I don't. Is that not?
Is that not real life? Is that not a documentary?
I've never seen it.
I think it's a good story. Golf is. We don't take golf for granted, but there are a lot of people out there that golf means so much to.
Yeah, not to be completely cliche about it, but you know how it's more than just a sport and all that kind of stuff.
We're a family.
Yeah, it could change your life.
It can, like, it genuinely can.
Change Luke Clanton's life
It did.
It did.
I mean,
in a different way.
I say it's
Not really, but
not really,
kind
because
of.
he was always going to be a tour pro.
Look, I'm trying
actually
to
still
link
at
two
college.
things together. I'm just trying to keep this thing moving.
Luke Clanton is a very talented young man. What is he,
21?
21?
Yeah.
I think he's 21, and he's just secured his PGA Tour card via getting through enough cuts and enough high finishes on the PGA Tour to automatically get it.
Yeah, the accelerated qualification, or and he's like 20 points. Or
Yeah, PGA Tour are like, they're trying to funnel as many good young college players in the States onto the PGA Tour as quickly as possible. So whenever you get a player like Luke who's, exceptional talent, they want to get him on the tour, so it'll get him in the event, and then if he plays well enough, it'll get his card.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Really.
Yeah, that's the baseline.
He's
of it,
been
isn't it?
doing very well, though.
Very
Finishes
well.
have been very good.
And he's a semi YouTube.
Yeah,
player.
I remember before I
Yeah.
even started here, when I used to watch the Good videos a lot, he was in a lot of them like years ago.
Yeah. So I think we can take a lot of
credit for
credit.
Are we claiming him?
The YouTube community, yeah.
Okay.
We see golf's a big family, so is YouTube. YouTube's a great big family.
Yeah. He's still got to finish his college season as well.
Yeah, well, I suppose he will, won't he?
Yeah.
Will he? Do you think he will?
Yeah, because he made. I think even after he got his card, he was like, great, really happy.
Oh yeah, he said it said something about he can't turn pro until after the NC.
Yeah, he's going to go back. He can't wait to win the team championship. Or
He could turn pro, though.
of course he could.
Like, he could ditch his teammates if he really wanted to.
I think I read somewhere that he can't until after the finals.
Or is it part of
the
the deal?
like after the finals of the NCAA, whatever it is, championships? He can't.
It must be such a tough ask when you're an amateur, you're playing these events, and you do see it a lot where amateurs who are coming through the system in the States, they're playing for their college team, they're valuable members of that team. They have a run of PGA Tour events where they finish like top 20s.
Yeah,
It
top
must
20 is Sawgrass.
it must be looking around thinking, yeah, so Jeff next to me has just earned 90 grand there. So I'm going to go back to college. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
And even saying, like, when he goes back to college, like, he's obviously an incredible golfer. He's made, 9 cuts of his 12 starts he's had on the PGA Tour. And yet he goes back, and it's not like he wins these things. Like, he does win, obviously. But then it just shows you the level. I mean, we've known this for years now, but, like, the level and the standard of golfers in colleges, especially, is just insane. They get younger and younger. They hit it further and further. They swing it quicker and quicker.
Yeah, the depth definitely feels like it's getting... I say it's getting better. There's always been really talented players. Like, there's always people coming through. There's always generational talents coming through. There's always that massive, fantastic golfers that make up the bulk of any kind of tour.
Yeah.
But it does feel like that entire bulk has got better.
Do you feel that, like, the the jump from, or it's, I think the thing that what I used to see before is that like guys would come through, but you'd still feel that there was that like bedding in stage of getting onto the PGA Tour and kind of learning about how to be a pro, and then even getting close to winning. But like now you have, you know, you've had in the last 3 seasons guys like Ludwig, you've had Nick Dunlap, you've had Luke Clanton, like all these guys have come through, played in their first 10 starts on the tour and come close to winning, making cuts, top 10s. Like the jump and the way they just almost become PGA Tour winners so quickly. They almost come onto the tour prepared and ready to win, rather than before kind of not. Is it a confidence thing? I guess maybe just having the ego of thinking you're good enough.
No, it's the preparation is a big thing. So certainly in the States, in colleges where you travel around and you play all these different events, the facilities that you get access to, it really is a breeding ground for the very best players in the world. When you get on tour, it's different. It is different because, yes, you can be a fantastic college player, but as we just mentioned, the depth on tour is really big, and it can knock your confidence very quickly. If all of a sudden you're a standout star and your very best is getting you in the top 30, you're like, oh, there's some really good players here, so how do I take it to the next level? Yeah. But also, like to be honest, the hardest thing I've seen, obviously I've never been on tour, but talking to pros and traveling around with the tour in a capacity that I have, being on tour is difficult in its own right. Not just the actual golf, but generally you're away from your friends, you're away from your families, you're away for long stretches of time. And the majority of people who finish consistently high is very low. Like if you're on tour, generally speaking, a top 20 finish is really good. It's fantastic. Yeah. And you'll probably miss half the cuts of the events that you're playing. And if you get on a run and you're on the cut of trying to get your card for the next year, it can be really stressful. Like I've seen a lot of brilliantly talented golfers who only last a couple of years on tour because they can't hack that lifestyle. Yeah, it's not that they're not good enough golfers. It's just the travel and the stress and the consistency of having to play your very best golf all the time. Yeah, it can wear people down. Yeah. If you're a journeyman pro, it's not quite the glamorous life that I think many people think it is. Yeah, it's great. You get to play golf, but as everyone knows, if anyone watching or listening to this that takes golf seriously and wants to be score orientated, everyone knows it's really stressful as well. So imagine that as your job. That's it, isn't it? Like you're going paycheck to paycheck of... If you don't do well, then you can't budget, so to speak, because you don't know how much money you're going to earn week to week, because you don't know how well you're going to play and how much money you're going to make. And you can't really rely on... Again, unless you're a standout elite player, you can't rely on sponsorships like you used to as well. Like I know... Like when I was kind of growing up, when I turned pro, I had a few friends who managed to make it through to being on tour. And when you got on tour, you were almost guaranteed sponsorship. Said, I'm Jeff, I've got onto the tour. You can have your place on my bag, place on my cap, club sponsor, ball sponsor, blah, 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 blah. And before you'd even really teed off, you'd probably got about 100K in sponsorships. And that would pay for your expenses throughout the entire year with a little bit more on top. Yeah. That's not guaranteed anymore. Yeah. And why do you think that is? Is that just YouTube ruined it? Oh, fair. I mean, it's always our fault. YouTube ruined everything. Just from a sponsorship and an awareness point of view, that a lot of players, when they get through to tour, they will have backing, and like certainly I know a lot of golf clubs and businessmen and businesswomen and business leaders at golf clubs, they'll like support players, and that needs to continue, certainly from a European standpoint, if you want these players to come through. But yeah, those sponsorships, certainly from equipment manufacturers for players who are just getting on tour, it's not as lucrative as it used to be. They're just not willing to pay out as much. Well, hard life, isn't it? It's tough. It's tough out there, kids. Yes, Uncle Sam. Right. For that. We're going to talk a little bit more about the US after this quick break. So, as mentioned, we are here in the United States of America, and whilst we've been here on the tours around the world, there's been a few things that's happened. So, Jake Knapp joined the very, very small amount of players who shot a 59 on tour. Now, he did it in the first round of the Cognizant Classic at the notoriously difficult / really now easy PGA National in Florida.
Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember us going and filming there, and we were even having conversations about calling the video that it was the hardest PGA Tour venue.
Yeah. If you set that course up, well, I say correctly, if you set the course up in a manner to make it difficult, it can become very, very hard.
Yeah.
You can get the rough really thick, you can narrow it up, you can make it quite long. They didn't do that this time. I don't know why. I don't know if it's just they're trying to move it away from having that reputation of being this fearsome test.
Yeah.
But you were looking at that, being around 10 under would be a great score. And Jake Knapp shot 12 under in one round. What was it to shoot 59?
Yeah, I think you're
12.
right. Yeah, I think it's par 71.
So that's not too bad.
It's okay.
No?
The bear trap was not quite as
Trapping.
There's no bears.
It
there
wasn't
anymore.
very trappy.
Trapping.
Yeah, there's no bears. They've let all the bears loose. So
It was
I don't know why you would want to move away from if that's the reputation and you've got that locked and everyone knows, oh my god, PGA National, that's the hardest course. Why would you want to move away from that? It's kind of a good thing to be.
Yeah, but good for who though?
I don't know, the course, the tour, to have something so interesting that it's it's a way to get people watching. Oh my god, this is going to beat these guys up this week.
Yeah, but if you're one of those guys, would you want to go play? Because with the signature events, they're kind of taking a consistent amount of the very top players, where the Cognizant is not one of those events. So it's kind of the players who wouldn't get into a signature event, they're coming to the fore a little bit more.
Okay.
Now, if you've got those guys on that course, I'm pretty sure that Jake Knapp was delighted in shooting a 59 rather than grinding out a 4 under.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think one of the things that the easiness of that course has kind of come along with the sort of rebrand of the event as well. Because I think when people heard the Cognizant Classic, even for me, because I think the whole thing's the Cognizant Classic at Palm Beaches or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And even when I saw that coming up on the schedule, my mind didn't go, that's at PGA National.
Yeah.
So they've probably had an opportunity, I guess, to go, okay, well, it's maybe not in that memorable state that people remember it to be. So let's now go about and try and change it up and make it a course now that people can go and shoot 59s easy as that.
Just enjoy themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is just as a thought, that they've in terms of how they've rebranded the event, they've rebranded the golf course.
Yeah, it just falls into that category of all the other ones though that everyone sort of forgets about every week. And then there's, again, isn't it?
But then we probably sit and we ask ourselves the same questions, and we've mentioned it a few times with sort of golf courses in the US as well. But do we start to feel that PGA Tour courses are just too easy?
No, I would say it shows how good the actual pros are.
Okay.
Bear in mind, shooting a 59 is unbelievable. Shooting a 59 puts you in the category of the rarest type of golfers.
Yeah.
Hardly anyone does this.
Is it 14 players or something? 15 players?
Yeah, it is such a small amount. Now, admittedly, the way Jake Knapp reacted to it was he'd just gone and shot level. He seemed completely unbothered by it, which might just be his attitude. I think his girlfriend on the side was going
more excited.
absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
But I think it just show how good these guys actually are, because even with the rough chopped down, it's not an easy golf course. It really, really isn't. It's tough. There's a lot of water. There's a lot that can go wrong. I would say though, there's the difference now between, as mentioned, the signature events and everything else. So if you say what's going on this week, I think it's Bay Hill this week. Mm-hmm. You can picture what Bay Hill's going to be like with the thick rough. It's going to be difficult.
Yeah.
They're going to set it up not exactly like a major, but it's going to be tough. it's going to be hard.
Yeah.
Sawgrass, you kind of know what that's going to be looking like as well. When he goes to Muirfield Village, Jack's event, you know that's going to be hard. You know that's going to be tough. There's certain events that kind of get in this reputation of being harder than others. And then there are some events that are just easier.
They created like a sort of 2-tier system. Oh, they have created like a 2-tier system within the PGA Tour then.
I mean, it's just some of the courses that they go to as well. Like the Waste Management at Phoenix. Mm-hmm. Like that's the course they go to. There's only so much they can do to that course to make it more difficult. Like the layout, the players like it. It's birdies. And I don't particularly mind that. Yeah. If a course produces birdies, but it's interesting and it's good to look at, that's fine. But if it's just like a field with no rough and is instantly forgettable, that's when it becomes a bit more of an issue for me.
Yeah, and I mean, in no disrespect to the people that were playing in this, so there was still some names, but maybe they feel that the combination of a really tough golf course with not household names isn't a blend they really want to put out as a product.
Joe Haysmith,
yeah,
who actually won.
He won, yeah. Who also set some remarkable records. What was it, Sam? Yeah, do you know what it is?
Yeah, he was the first person in 9 years to win a PGA Tour event while having made the cut on the cut line.
There you
go. Yeah.
And he was also a winner of this event whilst wearing a stupid hat.
the first ever, yes.
Yeah. I know there's been a few.
Not the first ever.
There's been a few. There was. I saw a picture. I don't know where it was, but you had. He was wearing like a massive sun hat, wasn't he? And then Jasper Parnevic's one there. Do you remember Jasper Parnevic?
Yeah.
One of the big
up top.
One of those ones. There was someone else who was wearing a stupid hat who's won as well. So it's just a thing.
Henley had a big fat visor
Was
in
that
like
what it was?
2014. Yeah, when he beat Rory in a playoff.
Yes.
And he had a big visor on.
I think I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah.
No, it's just a thing.
Yeah.
You win. You win if you wear stupid hats.
Any pro going next year.
Yeah, so Titleist, if you're watching this, if I could have one of those massive rimmed hats that he was wearing, that'd be absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
I think they look good.
It takes a type of person, I think.
I think you could do it.
I think I could do it.
And that's not me saying that's not you, and that's not me saying it isn't you. But
it sounds like it's him saying it's
kind of like you're saying it's not me.
Look,
you're saying I'm
try
an idiot.
Find out, and I'll make an opinion when I see it. Have you ever worn one of them before?
No, I think I won a bucket hat. I think that was the furthest I went.
I've seen you in a bucket. Yeah, bucket's okay.
Bucket's okay.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Bucket's all right.
Listen, I'm gonna get on board with it.
Some people are hat people. Some people aren't.
I'm a hat person.
Yeah, you know you are.
Yeah.
But there's just people out there in the world that can wear any hat. You put any hat on their head, they look good.
Okay, it's going to be me.
Okay.
It's gonna be me. That wasn't the only thing that was happening as far as like incredible records. Dale Whitnell.
Yeah.
In South Africa, I want to say it was the Investec. Yep. This is one of those events on the DP World Tour at the moment where it's we're in South Africa, the fields aren't super strong, but there's some interesting stories which still come out. One of which, Dale Whitnell, during his round, had 2 hole-in-ones in the same round.
How greedy.
Now,
they saved them for the rest of us.
Yeah, odds of this happening, 67 million to 1. I think you said before, Sam, that you're more likely to be struck twice by lightning than have 2 hole-in-ones.
Nearly 3 times. It's only slightly more to get struck 3 times by lightning.
I mean, you might as well throw it in. Like, if you're going to get struck 3 times, you're going to get struck twice.
Dale.
You might as well get struck 3 times.
Stay inside. Dale.
I mean,
don't go out in the rain.
Yeah, put your irons away, Dale, for God's sake.
Yeah, you're like 20 times more likely to be eaten by an alligator as well.
Jeez, Dale, get away from that water.
Wow. Like, Dale can go nowhere right now.
Like, they're playing again in South Africa, so Dale, stay away.
The animals are...
no alligators there.
That's
crocodiles.
Oh, what are the odds on that, though? Is that more likely?
No, crocodiles just don't eat people who've had hole-in-ones. They actually respect them.
That's good.
Yeah. They're on a diet.
So, on a diet from golfers. I mean, it's obviously... It's an incredibly rare event, and a hole-in-one is often like touted as one of those things that, like, what would you think you could do more? Like a maximum break in snooker.
Yeah, it's a 147 break.
A 9 darter in darts or a hole in one. And a hole-in-one is by far the easiest of those three.
Yeah.
Because it involves like so much luck.
Yeah, it's so much luck.
But so much luck calculated over those 2 par 3s to both go in.
Yeah.
They were 2 good hole-in-ones as well. They weren't bad ones. Like they were straight at the pin, a little bit of dribble, in we go.
Yeah. Obviously it's something hole-in-ones on golf courses you very rarely see. 2 you really, really don't see. It did make me think though of like what is the most unlikeliest thing that you can see on the golf course in terms of like scoring?
The most unlikely statistically is an albatross.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the rarest of all. Well, not quite. An albatross is the rarest, most likely thing to happen.
Yes. Okay.
So an albatross is a hole. Well, having a 2 on a par 5, so holding like second shot.
Right. Yeah.
You can get a condor, which is a hole-in-one on a par 5. Now, apparently this has happened like 10 times. But
according to who?
Yeah, exactly. Like you're going down
what tees are you playing
straight down a cart path or something.
Yeah, got a path boost.
So apparently it has happened. I'm not 100%. Obviously, I'm not 100% sure. You got to give credit to people who said they've had it, but I would say an albatross is statistically the hardest thing. It's harder than a hole-in-one. It takes more skill to have an albatross than a hole-in-one.
But what would you rather have?
I'd rather have an albatross because I've already had hole-in-one.
Even on YouTube, though, you get much more attention for a hole-in-one than you would from an albatross.
Has anyone had an albatross yet?
I don't know, but I don't know if you could, like. It's an interesting one because if you hang the video on, like you put, I made an albatross,
Well,
I made a hole-in-one.
Yeah.
I was going to say, why are you using that weird tone? About why do you hate albatrosses so much? That's what I want to know.
Albatross.
It's my title voice.
That's how he speaks when he reads titles.
Yeah.
They're a magnificent bird. You should respect them.
But do you not feel that if you saw the hole-in-one title, you'd think that's more?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There'd be more people would click that more.
I disagree, but I'm more of a golf purist. So.
Well, yeah, but that's what I mean.
Like,
there has been an albatross.
You
there has been an albatross on YouTube, though, of course. The Matt Schaaf's hole-in-one on a par 4.
No, that's a hole-in-one.
But it's an albatross.
No. Don't start this crap with me today, Sam. All right.
It's a double eagle.
If you have a hole-in-one on any hole, it's a hole-in-one.
But you just started talking about condor.
Yeah, but they don't exist. They might as well call it a griffin. All right. Phoenix.
I'd like it if it was called a phoenix.
It should be called something like that.
If you have a hole-in-one on a par 4, it's a hole-in-one. If you have a 2 on a par 5, that's an albatross. It is not a double eagle for oh my God, no, it's an albatross, please. If you have an eagle, you have an eagle. You have a bird, you have a bird, you have a pie, you have a pie.
It also doesn't make sense because it's not a double eagle because it's not 2 extra shots.
No. It's never made sense.
No.
And there are people within the media and within the deep state that keep perpetuating this lie.
That's born right here in these United States.
Well, whoever said that was just incorrect when they said it. I don't understand it. I hate it. Albatross. Anyway, carry on. Sorry.
That's okay. No, it's all right. You don't have to get on board with it. No one's forcing you. You can still stay. You can say what you want it to be.
I mean, what would be rarest? You know, 2 hole-in-ones. That's 67 million. I wonder what the odds are.
3.
And we'll probably get people guessing in the comments on this. Like the odds of going a full round, like not having a 3-putt for like a normal golfer. A full round of having like 18 putts and stuff like that. I know that statistically you're more likely to win the lottery than hitting every green and every fairway in regulation in a round of golf.
Isn't even, I think that's even more higher odds than a hole-in-one as well, isn't it, I think?
It's ridiculously like high odds to complete that.
That's actually really funny you mentioned that because I think we spoke about that on the way to PGA National when we filmed the video against Micah. And I usually, when we film our videos, I have the scorecard in the buggy if we're driving and I'll mark and tick fairways in reg and greens in reg. And I remember that front 9, he didn't miss a green. And it was just really weird how after us talking about it, he was doing it. And I think I turned to Kieran and said, he hasn't missed a green there. And then the next hole,
of course,
he missed a green. And I was like, oh. that shows you why it's so hard to do.
Yeah, I don't know what the odds. I don't know what the odds would be for like just greens or like just fairways or like greens and fairways. But I'm sure it's ridiculously long odds.
Can you imagine like every fairway, every green would be ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, it's hard. Golf's hard.
Golf is hard.
Okay.
Breaking news.
breaking news, everybody.
Yeah.
Golf is hard.
Talking about golf being hard.
Oh, get your feet up. Make yourself comfortable, why don't
yourself at home.
We played Pinehurst number 2 again.
Yeah, we went back.
So we were playing there with Sean Walsh out of Good, who's got his own YouTube channel. Make sure you go check it out now. And we won't ruin the video by any means, but we had a scramble to try and break the course record there. That might be the most difficult golf course in the world.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's so hard, especially off those back tees.
Yeah, it's a long old boy.
Long and weirdly wide fairways that still seem to be quite tight, depending on how you hit it.
What did they say? It was 50%. Was it 50% wide?
The 2011 rebuild.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like widening the course like that is, if you bring in slopes and you bring in firmness and the fact that there's no rough, like if you start running off one of those fairways and you're just in the waist area, there's nothing to stop it. And I kind of found that a fair bit. Obviously, those greens are crazy as well.
Did you find it tough out of the waist area?
Yeah. I found it tough from
Everything.
everywhere.
Tough
from everywhere.
Tough in the middle of the fairway.
But no, I absolutely love that course. And I love Pinehurst as well.
I was interested to see if your opinion would change a second time, because maybe, I mean, for me anyway, like going into it the first time, this time last year, there was just that hype of it's going to be the US Open venue this year.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's tough. Just the general kind of aura around Pinehurst last year was kind of obviously a lot higher than in previous years because of what was coming up. And I was actually pleasantly surprised myself with that, how much I enjoyed being back and appreciating the course. It was obviously we've come over here just after they had some really cold weather, so the greens actually were a lot softer than usual. And there was a couple of times you hit some shots, and you'll see in the videos coming out where you got a little bit more purchase on the greens than you probably did this time last year, or a lot more especially than they did in July last year.
It's just pure ball striking.
Yeah, well, obviously, that goes.
Sorry for striking out the middle.
That goes without saying. Yeah,
My apologies.
But it is a great golf course. But have we now also discovered there's a lot of really good golf courses at Pinehurst?
Yeah, so after we played number 2, we went and played number 10. So this is a new course at Pinehurst. The first new course in basically 40 years, I think it was 30, 40 years.
Yeah, which is kind of
surprising.
it's quite striking, isn't it? Like,
yeah, it's strange, but I mean, they did have 9.
yeah.
So, I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot of courses for one spot.
Yeah.
But I'm happy to say that it's great. It's an absolutely fantastic course. And the whole vibe of that place, and when they were showing us around with all the pictures and what it used to be an old sand mine. And it sounds like, I don't know, what's the word? I don't know if I just bought into it, but like when he was showing us around all the merch and all like the logo in, and
the shop was good.
No, you're right to have bought in, I think.
Right, okay.
They have done a very good job of utilizing what they were given, the natural law. The law they've created around
the golf course.
Around the course. It was interesting, and Bo, is he the like head pro there, GM, or
I'm not sure. He's just passionate.
Yeah, he loved it. He was showing
doesn't even work there. He just turns
He
up.
just got a badge, and he was showing us around, and he was explaining through the logo and how on the 8th you'll see in the video coming out, there's a signature hole, and it was sort of the most undulating, bumpy part of the course they found, where it was where all the sand mines were, and Doak, he's designing it. Basically decided, I'm going to just chuck grass seedling on top of that. I don't want to touch any of it. I just want basically the course and the fairway to be that. And the golfers can decide however they want to play it. And it is genuinely bizarre. And we said it when we got there, like it reminded us of Tobacco Road a little bit. In that just how kind of raw, rugged, natural terrain. They've just kind of been given the natural resources, and they've then just made a golf course on this property. So it was I loved it. There was some great holes, and they're even making number 11 now as well. They're going even further.
Keep on going.
They're going again. This time Crenshaw's going to have a go.
Is it Core Crenshaw or is it just Ben?
I don't know.
Just Big Ben.
I think
Just on his own.
I'm a bitch Big Ben doing it.
But I guess the question is number 10 the best course at Pinehurst now?
Oh, we asked this last time when we went. We said number 4 might be. I don't think it is.
No?
I don't think it is. And it's kind of a pedigree of 2 for me that just like stands up ahead of that. I think in terms of it's the new best course because it's a year old. But yeah, I think 2 just still holds that trophy just a little bit longer for me. What about you?
Yeah, it's still number 2. Yeah, by a long way. I think the number 10 is it might be one of the best new courses in the States.
Oh, I agree. Yeah,
it's just the number 2 has the history and it has a design which it can't and it won't really be replicated as far as like the greens and the layout of that course. It's pretty unique.
Yeah,
I feel like they were very, very different. I mean, as someone who'd only been there for the first time this year, I feel like they're strikingly different considering they're in the same sort of area, complex, all that kind of thing.
Yeah. I think they're built for different golfers as well.
Yeah.
Like number 2 is for a purist. Number 2 is for someone who wants a challenge and, wants to be squarely kicked in between the legs every few
Sadist,
holes.
if you will.
Yeah.
Number 10 is a little bit wider. It's a little bit friendlier. A few more different team boxes as well, so you can kind of get the right yardages. But it's a fantastic, fantastic course. Talking about places that probably won't be designed like that ever again. Where else have we been this trip?
Southern Pines?
Yes, we
God, I forgot like I was even alive then.
You forgot the what?
I said I forgot that I was even alive. I forgot where we'd been, what we were doing.
You forgot that was even alive?
I forgot that I was even alive.
You forgot that you were even alive? I mean, again, that's quite a weird thing to say.
Yeah.
Just find yourself walking down the street. Oh, I forgot I was even alive.
No, Southern Pines was actually probably maybe the favourite course I've been to on this trip.
I must admit, it was unbelievable. The layout of that golf course, Donald Ross. Can we talk about what an utter maniac he was? Like with those greens. Donald Ross greens, if you've not played Donald Ross golf course before, they all have something very similar in common. So you get to the green and they're all like tortoise shells. So you have undulations on the top and runoffs at most sides. Now, Southern Pines, what Donald Ross had actually done is take all the undulations that he normally has around the greens and just stuck them all at the front to just infuriate every single golfer who plays there. Definitely not me. You didn't see me do that. But I think the layout of that course was just stunning. And we've obviously played Southern now. We've not done Mid. We've not done Pine Needles. There's so many golf courses around this area that around Pinehurst that we've just not explored. We need to live there.
I'm for it if you're for it.
Move the company to Pinehurst.
Is Pinehurst like a tax haven? I don't think it is.
Don't think North Carolina is a tax.
Sure.
I don't think Manchester is.
No.
No. It's definitely not.
It's not any kind of haven, put it that way.
Looks like it's going to be
It's a
Dubai.
rain haven.
Yeah, there you go, yeah.
Hey, listen, we never have a water shortage. Never have a hosepipe ban.
Yeah.
No.
You look on the positives.
Do you have to use your hose pipe often?
to wash down my decking.
When did you last get your hose pipe out?
I can't remember the last time I actually went into my backyard.
Put your hose pipe away.
Did you last go into the backyard and get your hose pipe out?
We got,
Put it away.
like me and Carly said we need to improve the house, so we got
That's not going to do it.
we got the backyard like decked.
That won't sell it.
We got it all completely decked.
Yeah, you got your deck out, yeah.
And it looks great.
Did you clean your deck with your hose pipe?
It looks really good.
Good.
It looks really good.
Good. Did you
sparkling clean?
It was maybe 2 years ago we got that done.
Yeah.
I might have been into the yard about 5 times since that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you paint your deck?
Anyway. So, if you, by the way, if you've not checked out on the Rough Cut YouTube channel, we have just released the South Africa vlog. Sam edited this. It's taken 6 years, but it's finally
Yeah, because I wasn't
out,
allocated
which
any
is
time
good.
for it. But
Do you know what he said the last thing that he left for South Africa? He said, "Oh, I'm going to really enjoy sitting down over Christmas and just tapping away at this."
I did, and it still didn't get it done in time.
Still didn't get there.
No,
It was a
still didn't get
behemoth.
It was a behemoth.
Why don't we talk about how good it was rather than how long it took me to do?
It's very, very good.
This is
And
what a
it's an-
supportive boss looks like.
It's an hour. Thank you. It's an hour long as well. So if you do want to like settle in and watch it, it's a behind the scenes vlog of everywhere we went on that trip. But a lot of people certainly asked at the time for more footage and more info on like the safari and a lot of the stuff that we did around the Gulf. So if you do want to check that out, please do. It's a great vlog. I remember watching it back, and it was bringing a smile to my face.
It was nice to reminisce. It also made me think it does look like we just went on a great jolly.
It's a great trip. It was a great trip.
I had to I was watching it back and I was like, people must be looking at this going, what do they do? Like,
it's great. It's fantastic.
we went on a safari,
Thank
we
you,
drank
golf mates.
wine, and
We did literally. We got there and we didn't. I don't think you played golf for like the first 3 days.
yeah.
No, I don't think we did. No, I think we played on that
Oh, yeah, that's
first
short.
day just to do a few things.
But then obviously, to the point, like the time we are actually filming the proper videos, we haven't got the time to do the vlogging. So you are only going to see the
Yeah,
nice
yeah,
Plus,
juicy
you don't want to
bits.
spoil it, do you? So
That's true. Do you know what? Like, one of the things I really, really liked in the vlog, and it just kind of just made it feel more real. Of like, you were seeing us do all the fancy stuff and all that, and then okay, now we're going to go out to film with Devon, and then you cut in the intros of the videos. And it just kind of made it feel more real to me of like, okay, we kind of go and we do this, that, and the other, and then we produce this product from this like one day of filming, and we do, and that sort of struck home a little bit of like, oh, that's actually, we do some good stuff here.
No, we did.
We do some good stuff.
I mean, it was, like I said, we packed so much in, and we've got a trip coming up to Arizona, so we could have another go at it. Maybe.
What, another vlog?
Another safari. Another vlog maybe.
I mean, it'll be up to you guys.
That's fine.
You and Kieran, you can
Yeah.
divvy that amongst yourselves.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll just give it to 40. I'll get 40
Yeah,
40 to film everything. They'll love it, won't he?
Yeah, you'll do it.
I think we are discussing, we're chatting through a few ideas about the different types of content that we can do here on Rough Cut as well, because we've got the podcast, we've got the clips, we've got behind the scenes vlogs like this, we've got some other stuff as well. But if there's anything that you guys want to see, if you're watching this on YouTube, then let us know in the comments. And if you are listening to this as well, and there are kind of features that you might want to see added to the podcast, just let us know. Get into the Discord. So we get into the Discord.
Yeah,
If you,
got a good community over there.
yeah, absolutely. If you go down into the description, you'll see the discount availability from our episode sponsors at NordVPN, but you will also see the Discord link as well. So go through to that and let us know. How many members we got there now?
It's over 1,000.
28,000.
It's going.
Just 1,000.
It's 1,000. It's about 1,000 to 28,000 ballpark.
It's over 10.
Yeah,
It's a sliding scale. It depends on the day.
1,000's a lot of people.
It is a lot of people, yeah.
To be like really invested in.
They're all off. I've got 1,000 friends.
Wow.
You can't all come to my wedding, which is not happening anytime soon.
Wow.
Well,
Send this to.
okay. She doesn't listen, right?
Yeah.
Well, okay, that'll be cut out then if you just see a random blank spot in the podcast.
Red flag.
Good shot. Big red
He's
flag.
talking about marriage already.
Oh my word.
To the internet.
Stop talking. Right.
Pete just gets scared of
Commitment.
commitment.
I just don't believe in the outdated construct of marriage.
Should we do a whole episode of you talking about why you hate marriage?
I don't hate marriage at all.
Well,
That's kids. So, if do we have anything else to? Get
I don't
into
know.
this?
Do we have anything else, Sam?
Well, there was a. Sorry.
No, don't apologise.
You don't have to apologise to us.
Yeah, don't apologise to us.
There was a thing on there that Mick put on there, but it's gone.
What did Mick put on there?
About guessing the open.
It's on there.
Was it on there? I couldn't see it.
That's why I alluded over to you,
Oh,
Samuel,
yeah,
and
I
said,
know,
"Is
I
it?"
couldn't see it and I panicked.
Wow, look at this. See,
I
do you see how
panicked.
seamless this is?
Sorry.
As the evening goes on, and now you're on your phone. The kids nowadays just
He's
can't
fed
keep
up.
off the phones.
Yeah. Yeah.
Straight into TikTok.
Hello, recording a podcast over here.
Let's put an edit there.
Oh no, I'm going to keep that.
Yeah, are we going to keep this all in?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think we should keep
Yeah,
this
we'll
all
keep
in.
it raw.
Let's just keep chatting while
You can
Sam
tell him.
kind of finds it.
You can tell I'm not experienced in
We'll
this
keep
game.
rough and ready around the edges.
Yeah.
You do have something for us, Sam.
I do have something for you.
Lovely.
We were talking about the Open before.
We were.
On the prospect of return to Turnberry. I thought I'd get you guys. Oh, you all right?
My legs are
You okay there?
My legs are stiff. I've walked like literally about 10 days in a row, and I just went to move my legs, and my knees were locked out.
Walk around with straight legs forever. Anyway, I thought I'd quiz you guys on. There has been 14 Open Championship courses in its history.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you name them?
Yeah, I think I can.
I honestly, I think. I mean, I can do it. Some of them, but I think Pete could probably do it by himself. But I'll join in.
Okay, so we have how many? 14.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to try and get these all by yourself?
I'll give it a go.
Okay.
I'll give it a go. So we've got Presswick.
Mm-hmm. You can try and get them in order if you want.
Can I do them in order? I'll try and do them in order for
Okay.
you.
Oh
Okay.
wow.
These won't be in order, but we'll go Presswick,
Yeah.
Musselburgh,
Yeah.
Muirfield,
Uh-huh.
Royal Cinque Ports,
Yeah.
Princes, Royal St George's, Royal Birkdale, Royal Liverpool, Troon, Turnberry, St Andrews. Is that how many is that? I've got is that 11.
I think there's 11.
You're missing 2. Yes.
Oh,
Oh, 2.
so you've done 12.
No, sorry. You're missing 3.
That's in 3. Yeah, okay. Pressure's on. Royal Lytham.
Yes.
Oh no! Come on, Pete. Come on, you got this. Don't fail now. Carnoustie.
Yes.
How many is that? How many's left?
That's 13. So you got
13,
one
you
left.
got one.
If my memory serves me right, this next one is actually like
Yeah, it's real stupid if you don't get it.
Am I like completely blanked on an obvious one?
no, yeah, kind of.
Yeah. It's real stupid if you don't
It's
get
like real soon.
I was going to say, oh, bloody Port Rush. How can I literally forget the one from this year?
There you go.
Oh. Wow.
Very well done. That was very good.
Thank you. I just love the Open.
There's, I mean, the ones I knew because they were quirky, like Musselburgh
Yeah.
and Royal Cinque Ports, I guess, is a little bit of a.
Yeah.
That'd be like a pointless answer, wouldn't it? Musselburgh.
yeah, that would be a pointless answer. Yeah, I'm not played a few of those. Not played Musselburgh, not played St Paul's, not played Royal St George's.
There's a lot on there that haven't been used for a good long while.
Yeah. Well, I want to say like Princes might have only been used once.
Yeah.
For example.
Again, yeah.
Well, there's not been a new one like introduced to the rotation for like 50 years.
This, okay, I'm just going to extend that to a question then. I can't think of any on top of my head, but do you think there is a course out there that you can think of right now that could become an open venue?
Ooh.
I know this is tricky, but
I mean, there are so many that could potentially be an open venue.
Yeah.
As far as the course is concerned.
Yeah.
But when you're hosting like a major, it's not just about the course.
Sure. Yeah.
Like in theory, Presswick, for example.
I'd love to see one go back there.
You'd have to alter a few of the holes. You'd have to change a few things. But you could make that into a major championship venue again. You really, really could.
Yeah.
But you'd have to
Where you put
close
the
the
stands
town
to get to the course,
Yeah.
the road under the bridge to get there.
You'd have to do so much. Like Western Gales, for example. What an incredible golf course that is. There's not a massive amount of room to extend it, but you probably could find a way. There's no chance of holding a major there, though, because you can't get to it. Like, there's one road over a railway.
Royal Aberdeen?
Royal Aberdeen, what an incredible golf course. There's so many. There's so many fantastic links courses. And of those that you've read out, there are some like dropping off. Like Royal Lytham, for example.
Yeah.
Incredibly hard, but they're having to go through this whole thing of trying to redevelop the course to have the facilities to host the championship.
Yeah.
Royal Liverpool obviously came back on to the rota.
After making changes.
Yeah, after making changes. Turnberry's gone off the rota. We've just spoken about that.
Yeah.
So there is a possibility, and there are a few out there that could make it on. But in reality, how many of them will? How many of them have the cash to actually make that happen? I'm not sure. Like, maybe none.
Yeah, it's almost like I guess the thing is like, what do you need to do to push your way in, kind of thing? And I probably imagine money does a lot of talking.
Of course it does. Yeah. Like you got to have a certain amount of room to do things that major championships have. So like I said, grandstands, but grandstands are only a small part of it. Like if you think about some of the venues that we go to, so St Andrews is obviously a classic example.
Yeah.
There isn't really that many grandstands.
No.
They're kind of wedged in here and there, but
Yeah,
mostly
between
it's just standing
greens
around.
and-
Exactly,
yeah.
yeah. So a lot of it is just like hospitality, a range, like access.
Yeah, it's just like
Yeah.
roads going in.
Yeah, 100%.
They gotta make a bypass.
Like,
Get a bypass in.
Like, I'm pretty sure this is news, but there's a place that we went to in Ireland, for example,
Yes.
that wanted to host the Open.
Yes.
This is a
Yes.
thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, but like the access is
Yeah.
like non-existent.
Oh,
Yeah. We
Yeah.
need to build a barge.
Literally build a bridge. So yeah, I don't think it'll really happen, but
we can
dream.
I think.
we dream the impossible dream.
I'd love to see more added, but there, like you say, there are some there that maybe we need to see come back again for a little bit.
The only thing I'd add to this maybe is that with the Open and with the Open Rota, one nice thing about it is that when a course gets added, it's quite an event. So let's say the USPJ, for example, and the US Open, like when they lay out their courses, like there's venues stretching into like 2040.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't really leave room for some classic courses to be added back in. Whereas the Open, you have this rota, but if one gets added, it's like, oh my God, like, can't believe that's been added. This is really interesting.
And it's
really
also
cool.
soon because
Yeah,
we don't know 3 years ahead really.
Yeah, bear in mind that things like Paul Rush hadn't been on the Open rota for quite a long time before he came back.
Yeah.
And what a golf course.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
unbelievable. Imagine
Yeah.
if County Down was added.
Yeah.
It won't be because it would infuriate the living daylights out of the golfers. Too much. They wouldn't be able to cope. Blind tee
Too many
shots.
blind tee shots, yeah.
17 blind tee shots.
That sounds like my version of hell.
Yeah. The TV coverage is probably not quite
Imagine what would happen. Imagine what Cam Young would do if he was faced with 17 blind tee shots.
smile less.
He would lose his mind.
Yeah.
I don't know why I picked out Cam Young then, by the way. He might love blind tee shots.
Maybe, yeah.
Anyway, right, guys. I think we've ran into a full
Delirium.
stop with this.
That's
one.
what we've run into.
So, guys, we're going to go. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for wrapping your ears around this. As mentioned, make sure you get into the description, check out NordVPN, and into the comments if you're on YouTube. If you're in the Discord, we will see you there very, very soon. Jacob, Sam, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.